I don't know what to say. I had a thing and then I didn't. I'm awkward. No, I'm just kidding. But good evening and hello to you all TTRPG internet land out there. And welcome to a one shot slash intro to a series that we're doing kind of thing. I don't know anymore. I'm just a random person on the internet running some lovable weirdos through a one shot tonight. But hi, my name is Mikey, and I'm so happy to be here this evening to run a special one shot using the City of Mist system, which is being titled Rave and Ruin, the Beat of Danger. So, this is a little bit of a special preview of I will be running a mini series slash long form series. We're still trying to work the kinks on that, but I am super happy to be running a new series coming to Halfling Wizard Productions very, very soon, which I will give all that info at the very end of the one shot. But tonight, we're going to be using the same system that this miniseries is going to be using. And tonight, we are using City of Mist. But before I get into the nerdiness that is this TTRPG, I have a couple of friends with me tonight that decided, hey, you know what? Mikey, this campaign idea sounds really cool. I want in. Also, we're going to give you a hard time, and I would not have it any other way. I'm super happy to have three of my four players here tonight. First and foremost, you've seen them all over here at Halfling Wizard Productions, either playing something or running something. But it has been quite some time. But I'm happy, first and foremost, to introduce Chris to this one shot. I'm super happy to have you. It's been way too long. I've missed you.
It has been too long. Hello, everybody. I'm Chris, also known as Riku. I'm here 24 hours again. 24 hours later after completing one game and now starting another. Yeah, I'm so excited to start on this. I know the series that Mikey's talking about has been something that he's had in the works for so long, and I'm so excited to be part of it. So, and yeah, you will hear all the details for everything later on. I won't give you my my monologue, stealing that from Kel, till later.
Oh, I cannot wait to explain and to premiere what exactly we're going to be doing. But good things come for those who wait. And I feel like 2 hours is going to be a fair wait time, so it's going to be good. Second up on my docket here, a friend of mine through another third party, who I will also repeat that phrase for a third player this evening. We really do have a small world here in California, because majority of us are West Coasters. But a good friend of mine, he has been in previous games of mine, and I'm super happy that the availability was here for him to be a part of this as well. But Connor, it has also been quite some time. I have missed you so much, and I'm so happy to take this journey with you.
It sure has been quite a while, and I've missed you very much too, Mikey. Hi, everyone. I'm Connor. I'm not going to say who I'm playing because I'm breaking myself out of the intro habit, because I also was just here 24 hours ago doing a game with Chris, which was great and super fun. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. The moment I saw Mikey post that he wanted to do a thing, I was like, Mikey, can I come play? And here I am, and this is exciting. I've missed playing games with Mikey as my first DM, as a part of the Vibe Tribe, as well as Halfling Wizard like conglomerate that I'm now playing in and having a lot of fun in. And it's great. I'm super excited. All of the fun secrets and things. I've been talking up a mad storm about this game, and it's cool and it's awesome. And third party people grabbing people and putting people into each other's orbits. And like, I've known somebody on this call for like 15, 16 years, but we're not going to talk about that because it's definitely more than that now. I forget. It's 2024 anyway. But back to Mikey for the last intro. And yeah.
Well, speaking of someone who Connor knows for 15 to 16 years, this is also a very interesting one, too, because we also have some crossover, if you will. I have been absent from the TTRPG space for a little bit, and I'm dipping my toes back into this. So our third and final player this evening comes from my other project that I'm doing, which is wrestling related. And also, to come to find out, he's also a big TTRPG nerd. Like, wrestling fans and TTRPG nerds somehow find their way to conglomerate together. but he has become a friend of mine over the last year and a half that we've done this wrestling project, and we're going to continue to do so. But Andrew, we have this conglomeration crossover we got going on, so there might be some inside jokes for wrestling fans out there, so my other players don't hold it against me. I'm sorry. But Andrew, I'm super happy that you are here and that despite your busy schedule, that you are going to be tagging along for this adventure. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me some time off from all the wrestling reviews to actually jump over and join in some TTRPG fun. It's been almost a year since I've gotten to actually play a TTRPG game, and City of Mist looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to the other project. So yeah, this I'm super excited. I can't wait for it.
And unfortunately, my fourth and final player could not be here this evening, but is still going to be a part of this new project here at Halfling Wizard Productions. His real name is JT, but you may know him on the social medias as Zen the Raven. Love this man to death. He has been playing for a very long time. It's been a hot minute since he's played in another game. So also another West Coaster. So pretty much we're playing with an all West Coast crew here for this game, minus Chris. Love you, Chris, though. So it's going to be fantastic for sure. But Andrew did mention we are playing City of Mist tonight. So again, to get the TTRPG nerdiness for those of you, what is City of Mist? Well, I'm glad you asked, Internet. So let me tell you. So City of Mist is a TTRPG designed by Asmode Studios, and they are also the designers for the project that we're doing, which will be announced later. But City of Mist is your very typical soaked in neon lights city noir type of TTRPG. Like very mystery heavy, very, if you are fans of old school noir movies or even games like LA Noire or even Max Payne to a certain extent, you are going to fit right at home. However, just like with any good RPG, that TTRPG, there's a twist. And this twist is that each of my players is playing a character that is been, we'll say, blessed or cursed with the powers of the mist, and they are known as rifts, which means each character is human, but they have some sort of aspect of a mythological figure, mythological deity, and even some of them could be mythological like items from history. So it's very detective meets Percy Jackson, if you will. So very mythological, heavy, plus crime fighting and LA like investigative stuff. And that's what we're going to be doing this evening. The only thing that you need to play City of Mist is a 2d6 and a character sheet. So my players tonight have been given, or they chose, their pre-made characters. So really quickly, let's go over the characters and we'll jump straight into the story. So first on my screen, Chris, why don't you tell the audience who you're playing as tonight and give a little description?
Absolutely. Well, tonight I am playing Body. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. So Body is actually his mythos is Bodhirama, who is a mythical Buddhist monk and the founder of the legendary Shaolin Temple. He himself, his human self, he's a gamer, which is why I picked him. Like, I was reading his character, I was like, this is me. This is literally me. So I needed to play this. So yeah, just reading his description with spending 9 years in his parents' basement playing video games, I truly connected to this character. So I'm really excited to play this and play him up my best way possible.
This is going to be great. As soon as Chris told me he wants to play this character, I'm like, yeah, that tracks. It's going to be great.
It was funny because, like, I was honest. I was debating between Body or playing Kitsune, and I read Kitsune. I was like, oh yeah, this Kitsune looks good. I got 2 words into Body, and I messaged Mikey. I was like, no, I'm playing Body. That's it. No, done. It's
It
mine.
wasn't even 30 seconds. You're just like, I'm playing this character. Never mind, I take it back.
Yep.
I love it so much. But I'm excited and I'm hoping that you get to use some of his abilities. So the fun thing with City of Mist is anything and everything can happen, so it's gonna be a good time. Connor, we're gonna come to you next. So Connor, why don't you tell us who you're playing and give us a little bit of a description of who they are?
I would love to. So I am playing Post Mortem tonight because she's dead, and I have a problem playing dead characters because I think it's great. So I Post Mortem admittedly was not my first choice, and then as I looked between my first choice and Post Mortem, I realized this is definitely the way I wanted to go. She was woke up dead in a laboratory and then escaped that laboratory and stole a bunch of gadgets and discovered or rediscovered training to be an assassin. And now she operates in the shadows as the city's angel of vengeance. A lot of her description blurb on here is talking about not going to stop and never ending because mythologically she represents the revenant, which is a brought back to life body that is there for a specific purpose and for a specific drive. If you've read that one story, American Gods, there's a revenant in American Gods, which is the first thing that popped in my brain when I was reading this. I really like it. I'm looking over the different themes, the different kind of vibes for her character sheet, and I don't exactly know what an assassin is going to do or is supposed to do in this regard, but I'm assuming it's going to be assassinate. So what could possibly go wrong with that? Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to put that to the test tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Andrew, last but certainly not least, I see who you picked, and it makes me very, very excited. But why don't you tell the audience who you picked and a little bit about your character?
For sure, yeah. I picked Salamander. It just looked really cool in the artwork that I saw for him. But then when I read a bit about him, he's based on the salamander, not the real world ones, but the mythological ones. So, great flaming lizard. But the thing that really stood out to me was that his powers are based on a substance that's based in both fire and water, and as someone who, like, when you look at all the different like signs of being like a water sign, and I've always been drawn to water throughout my life and been really that side of me. I'm also very much of a fire person, so I've always been kind of that dichotomy of those two elements, and so seeing that for him really drew me to him. He's a all-around good guy. He's a city water worker, so he's a regular working Joe, but he's also an up-and-coming crime fighter, trying to use his abilities that he got from this flaming lizard that's been entering his dreams to try and help out the city.
I love these characters so much. City of Mist is so fun. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. So now that we've gotten the fun introductions and I've explained how City of Mist is going to work, why don't we dive into our story this evening? So let me spin a tale, if you will. So, to most folks, the city truly never sleeps here in Neon Heights. As you know, during the day, you have most folks go to work, go to school, live pretty much normal lives. But it's not until the night that the city truly comes alive. And from all sorts of different things, from late night diners to underground parties to nightclubs opened for most 7 days of the week here in the city, Neon Heights offers a little bit of something for everyone. Some beneficial and not so much on some other things. And unfortunately, tonight's tale is on the more unfortunate side. Because Neon Heights has been struck with a pandemic, if you will. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. No one's not certain. Not even the cops are for sure onto how and why the city has been infected with the newest and craziest drug out here, which is spelled out CNDY, so it's a pun on things. But candy has hit the streets, and it is hitting the residents of Neon Heights hard. And cops are running left and right, trying to figure out where the source comes from and how to get it off the streets because now it is taking over neighborhoods, and it is not necessarily helping the city itself. With the cops running thin, and running ragged and little to no resources to find the source, it takes a special group of people who aren't necessarily tied to law enforcement to be able to kind of handle these more mythical things, if you will. And that's where our little crew here of players comes in. They have been tasked by Detective Gavera, who may or may not to be aware of the things that go bump in the night and realizes that there's very little that the police can do while following the law, but he just happens to know a couple folks who can kind of get behind the red tape, if you will, and kind of do the investigation and, if necessary, kind of clean up the city one thing at a time. So, you three have been tasked by our lovely detective to see if you could figure out where the source of candy is coming from and to see if you could put a dent in their operation. After a couple of days of looking up information and your own investigative work, you guys figure out that there is a good starting point or a big enough lead to kind of put you on this path to figure out where candy is coming from. So the three of you, in your various means, whether you walked there, if you took an Uber, yes, this is set in 2024, so I'm going to copyright the heck out of these things, because why not? Or, by any other means, because, hello, you're all riffs, you guys find yourself at the precipice of the entrance of this nightclub called Club Mirage. On the outside is a very gaudy but brightly lit neon sign bathed in the shades of red and blue, kind of cascading against each other to make a very fun violet color when the shadows mix together. And you're at the precipice of this entrance. So, what do you three want to do? Oh, don't be shy now.
I'm thinking.
I do have a question about our character sheets and the themes, right? Are we picking a theme that we go through, or do we kind of hop between all of the different power tags within those themes to fit each environment?
So the fun thing is that each character has 4 sets of tags, and for any situation, you can use a combination of any tags when it comes to certain things. So you have access to all 4 tags, and you are allowed to use 1, 2, because in each tag you have 3 different kind of like indicators that specify like this tag. So for example, if I had a tag called, concrete jungle, which means if my character is a detective, there are 3 specific things that my detective can do. So like insight, trained with a weapon, things like that. So I can use those to add to my rolls when the time comes for it. But you can hop between any of the 4 tags, and you can combine any part of those for a roll if you think they fit the situation. But just so you're aware, as the game master, the fun part in my thing is that I get to push back and say, are you sure you want to use this here? Explain to me how you're going to use this. And if you can convince me, then I will let you. So this is going to be a good time. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Now that I said that, I'm afraid about what's about to go down, but that's okay. We're here for fun.
Don't worry, Mikey. It's fine. We're all fine. It's okay. So what are we outside of right now?
So you are currently outside of Club Mirage. And from what you could gather, Club Mirage is one of the, funny enough, it's on the more lucrative side of town, but it also in recent weeks has seen a spike in attendance, which of course, from week to week, nightclub life can be hit or miss for a lot of nightclubs. But for some reason, this one is jam packed, more so than usual within the last couple of weeks. So currently, you're just on the outside. So you see the sign, but you can hear coming from inside the muffling sound of the speaker system blasting through. And you see through the what few windows there are on the outside, you see lots of lights flickering on and off, going into various shades and colors.
And now, is this the kind of club where there's like a line outside and like there's a bouncer at the door, or is this like there's the door and it's all blocked off and we're gonna have to like go up and knock or something?
So this is your typical like nightclub. There is a line, there is a bouncer, but your detective friend was able to kind of hook you up and get you on the guest list, so you should have no problems getting inside. Keyword being should.
Just to check, Bodhi is how old is Bodhi?
Ooh. Bodhi.
Very creakily slowly and let out a huh? What are you how
What?
what are you doing here?
Well, I was asked to help, so that is why I'm here. I came as quick as I could.
Hmm. All right. Is this one of yours, Sally?
Uh, no, no, I don't. I'm not. I don't know how he got here either.
Ah,
Oh,
He definitely.
I just walked here.
right.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I love
well,
this already.
you're here to help, and we're here to accomplish the mission. Let's go inside and do that, shall we?
We're supposed to have our names on the guest list.
You, excuse me, and like stiffly, creakily, jointedly walk up to whoever is outside the door. Excuse me. Here. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Can I help you?
We're on the guest list.
So, standing in front of you post-mortem is basically, there's no other way to describe it. Obviously, this is the bouncer, and it's the very typical bouncer that you are used to seeing in any type of medium. He's a very large built dude. He's got lots of tattoos. He's got the sunglasses on, even though it is nighttime right now. So he just looks, and he is about the same height as you post-mortem. So instead of looking down, he looks straight at you. As is like, "Can I get a name, please?"
Yes, I'm. Oh no. It. I'm so sorry. She's gonna turn back to Salamander. Am I?
I would. Salamander will kind of step in front in between the two of them. Can I use one of my tags? I have a tag called Charming.
So you want to, for all intents and purposes, charm your way through this interaction with the bouncer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that would. So the power tags that I have are the ones there. The new power tag options are ones I can choose from later, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, I've got Charming and Handsome. I feel like Charming will work. Hopefully.
Hey, you know what? If you want to throw handsome into it, like by all means.
Sure.
Alrighty. So you want to help postmortem and charm your way through. So let's do the first roll of the evening. So the way that City of Mist works, as explained at the very beginning, is that Andrew here is going to. You should see an option on your screen as you click on the little detective hat, and you see a lightning and a mask come up. So you, regardless of, it doesn't really matter which one you pick, but you are going to select one of those twice to roll 2d6, and then don't forget, in your final roll, you get to add +2 to the result. So hopefully we'll see what happens with all of this and see how successful you are. So, all righty, Andrew. Are you ready to see your fate? Well, damn. All right. You rolled 4, but that's okay. We're going to take the 2 5s because I said I can, plus the 2. Damn, I just gave you a 12. I changed my mind. I'm just kidding. No, so on a 12 plus, this is the ultimate success. So in City of Mist, anything beyond a 12 is best case scenario. So, you know what? I'm going to put Andrew on the spot a little bit. So, Sally, if that's what we're going to call you. So, Salamander, why don't you kind of tell us, how do you charm the bouncer into getting you guys into the club, even though you're on the list, and helping postmortem out in this awkward interaction with your charm and your rugged good looks?
I think he'll normally go by Sal. You know, Sally from some people, I guess, is a nickname. He's fine with it. He'll step in between the two of them, put his hand out, and just give a little dap to the bouncer. Just kind of put his hand on the list and look for Sal on there, and just go, "It should be on here, Sal. Sal."
So after you dap up the bouncer, he does look at the list, sees your name there. It's like, "Mr. Sal and crew, we are expecting you tonight. Just to let you know, you have full VIP access if you want to, but that is up to you. But all right, this way," and pulls like the stereotypical velvet red rope aside and kind of just motions you to the front door. You hear the people waiting in line like, "Oh, come on!" and just get kind of irate. But the bouncer turns to them, and the three of you swear you hear a guttural growl of like a pit bull coming from this man. So, spoiler alert. The bouncer is the Rift of Cerberus, who is guarding the door to the underworld, if you will. So he got out in tattoos. He's got like the big old silver dog chain necklace that some people wear. And the three of you swear you hear the growl of like a pit bull as he is sneering at the crowd, and the crowd just goes quiet after hearing that.
As we walk past him, I don't think Salamander has a lot of money. He's not like super rich or anything because he's just a city worker. But I think he'll take maybe like the little cash he's got, maybe a 20 or something, and he'll just, do a little sly hand movement with the bouncer, just like thank him, Jimmy, do that half hug thing as they walk in.
Oh, I love it so much. So yeah, so you give the bouncer $20. He tucks it in his little shirt pocket, gives you the nod, and motions you three into Club Mirage. So as you step through the threshold of the underworld, if you will have it, you are instantly bombarded with two things. Number one, the pure sight of what you see. After going down the stairs a little bit, which is kind of dimly lit with red neon lights, you make your way downstairs and you are bombarded with the sight of flashing neon lights everywhere. So pulses of blue, green, purple, all colors of the spectrum, if you will. And then the other thing that kind of pulsates through is the intensity of the speakers blasting your typical raver EDM type of music. You swear you see somebody in the distance dressed in a black coat and that you swear they have a sword and sunglasses for some capacity. But you kind of just shrug it off as just like, why not? Now, if it starts raining red, y'all should run. But as you walk down the stairs, you are met with the true nightlife of Club Mirage. You have the EDM music blasting, the DJs at the very front, in a very compact and very crowded DJ booth area with lots of folks just on the dance floor, on the stage. You have your new gen ravers who are just bouncing along. You have your old school ravers in the big parachute pants and just like glow sticks and everything. So, just as a spoiler alert, we're going to be visiting a lot of this as we go along because I love me some raves and EDMs. It's fantastic. And just kind of quietly set off to the side, while not looking as busy, is still, in service. It's a small little bar area with shelves full of different spirits and liquors, if you will, and a lovely individual who is kind of making sure things are getting done behind the bar. So once again, the dance floor is crowded. The DJ is doing their thing. And then you have the bartender off to the side. So, folks, you have now entered Club Mirage. Where do you want to go first in all of this?
Gentlemen, I think that this is a wonderful opportunity for us to probably split up a bit and see what we can find out in this general area. I think I'm going to go and have a talk with that lovely person over there at the bar and see what I can figure out from that angle. If anyone knows around here, it would be the person behind the bar, right? What are your thoughts in this, since we are, equal partners and everything?
Body, are you going to be okay on your own in here?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'll be fine. And you just see him, he's just staring off into the distance at everything, trying to analyze everything that's going on.
See, the young one, he's fine. I'm sure he's fine. Are you even old enough to be in here?
Yes.
Great. Fun. Excellent.
Not that I like adulting, but yes, I can
Ouch.
be here.
Ouch, that hurts for real.
I told you I related to this character.
Man, you are kidding. Cool.
Sure. All right. Well, I'm going to go talk with the bartender because I think that might be more of my thing. You see, I'm very good at talking with people. Postmortem is not. I looked through all 4 of these pages. There's not a single thing in here for social stuff. But I'm gonna go be social. So postmortem, like jankily, it's like every single muscle in her entire body is asleep, but also stabbingly tingling awake at the same time, and she can't quite figure out how to move, but it's somehow still somewhat graceful, but at the cost of being very, very disgusting to watch. And she's gonna unhinge herself and walk across over and then just lean against the bar and, excuse me, quietly that nobody can hear, but someone should. Please.
Alrighty. So, just for point of order, so post-mortem, you're going to go to the bartender. Bodhi, you're kind of just analyzing what you see in front of me. And Sal, what are you doing in this split off?
I want to kind of scan the room. You said there's the bartender, the DJ,
And then the dance floor, yep.
is there anyone that that seems to be more sober, like in the party, seems to be more sober than some of the other people, not quite in with the dancing crowds, but still kind of socializing?
Ooh, so you want to see if you can find Where's Waldo in this whole entire crazy scene. I love it. So, Sal, I'm going to have you investigate for me. So, once again, you only need to do 2d6 and try to convince me of any tags that you have that you can add as a bonus to your roll.
I would like to use snooping around.
Yes! I'm so happy you have this. Sweet. So you want to be nosy. We love a nosy person in this household. Okay, so there's one.
Did it roll?
Nope, not yet.
You were
Okay,
a
let me see
prevaricator.
here.
Well, that's better than calling me a liar.
And that's what prevaricator means.
So there's one, so now we just need one more. So you got 4.
Ah,
So 6 plus 1 is 7. So, this one's going to be fun. So between a 7 and 10, you are partially successful, but I get to either barter with you as a trade-off, or I'm adding a complication because I have all the power. Just kidding. So on a 7, and Sal, as you're scanning the room, you do see. At first, you kind of don't really see anyone like stick out like a sore thumb who is not inebriated, so to speak. So it takes you a little bit to get there, and you do see. You end up finding someone way off into the distance using your insightfulness that, hey, that person is kind of just chilling, not getting too crazy. There's only one problem, though, is that they are so like in some nightclubs they are 2-tiered. So you have the dance floor, and then you have like the stands, if you will, so the upper level of it. So think of this as like an underground warehouse, but tinier. So you do see this individual kind of overlooking the dance floor, kind of like chilling. But you also see they are surrounded what looks to be like security detail. So just to point that out.
and you said they're across the dance floor and up
Yes.
from me?
Yeah, across the dance floor, up a set of stairs, you can from here you can tell that it is a woman who is looking down at the dance floor. She's dressed up in a very gaudy, like, white cloak. But you also notice too that the cloak is also spotted in a way, like polka dots have been thrown on it as well. But she's also surrounded by security details, so think of like your typical Men in Black.
Okay. Sal's gonna move to the edge of the dance floor and kind of start, not awkwardly, but maybe hesitantly, shyly, kind of dancing around the perimeter, slowly making his way over to her, like the stairs that lead up to where she is. Kind of looking around, kind of giving that sense of like, I'm not sure, like I'm new to this kind of a thing. Like, I mean, which I think he is, but like, he might be looking for a way to cut loose a little bit, and he's kind of the kid that's never been to the dance but is trying to like build up the nerve, and I'll keep an eye on her as I dance while trying to also kind of see what my teammates are doing.
Mikey, you're muted.
Don't you love it when you say a lot of stuff and your mic doesn't want to pick up things for you? Thanks, microphone. I'm just kidding. So, Sal, you awkwardly try to dance your way through. Again, I am a person of a certain age, so I'm imagining like Sal doing the side to side shuffle a little bit, like hands very close to the chest, like just pulling out all the dance moves and just like, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Listen, as somebody who's gone to a lot of music festivals, that is the best way to get through the dance floor at these stages. You dance your way through, don't walk. You dance your way through and say, excuse me. So we're going to come back to you in a little bit, Sal. So, post-mortem, you make your way over to the bar, and you immediately notice that the bar is also lit up in the same colors that the neon sign was outside on the entrance, with lots of hues of blue and reds and the shadows kind of making purple, if you will. You definitely see the shelves upon shelves of nice liquor and spirits, if you will. And behind the bar, you see a very striking woman who is dressed to the nines in a very elegant but semi-casual kind of like business like jumper like pantsuit kind of number thing. It is tailored in red, but you also know she's wearing kind of like sunglasses as well, but unlike the bouncer where it was covering the entirety of the eye, it's like one of those fashion ones like triangle shapes where you can see the top part of their eyes as kind of like a fashion statement. And as you are approaching the bar, you just hear this woman behind the bar, the bartender, just yell, "Hey, yo, I got like 3 drinks for Mickey. Is Mickey in this house? All right. Hey, what did I tell you? No dancing on the table. Last time I'm going to tell you otherwise, you out of here. I need you to leave right now." And just like doing what a bartender does and trying to maintain the peace while also keeping the fun going and providing the goers with, just spritz and sprites, if you will. So, postmortem, you eventually make your way to the bar as the bartender's just like, I see we got somebody new here. It's like, what can I get for you?
Yes, actually, what I'm most interested in is information. I am here to, I believe it's called Candy. That's correct, right? Candy?
So, post-mortem, as soon as you mention the word candy here, not that it really happens, but think of like the very typical, you hear the record scratch like, and like, not that anyone's really looking, but everyone turns around and just looks at you in like the 2000 comedy-esque, like, what'd you say? So as soon as you mention candy, you notice that the bartender kind of just stops what she's doing and she turns her head slowly, and you see her body language begin to tense up a little bit and kind of give off a very sharp and piercing like aura in a will. And she kind of lowers her glasses a little bit, which now you can see the entirety of this very emerald green pupils. And she just looks directly at you. It's just like, I hope you ain't about to bring no trouble in here. And you kind of feel your body tighten a little bit as if you were being turned to stone, but not really.
Got it. I wonder what she is. Trouble? No, I would never bring about trouble to any place or location that I was this geographically close to. You see, normally when I bring trouble, it's from a far distance away. Yeah, that's more of my my MO. No, that's not. I wish I could remember my name. Do you know those moments where it's right there. It's like right on the tip of the tongue, and it's not quite there. I remember why I'm here, and I remember being told not to make a big scene of myself or make an ass of myself or do anything that would draw attention to myself and throw everything off the rails. And yet, I can't remember my own name, and I'm normally very good at following instructions and the mission. Anyway, I'm off track. Yes, I'm looking for some candy. Is that something that I can get here, or should I go elsewhere?
So, after kind of looking you up and down with her gaze, you see the bartender kind of push their glasses back up, and you feel that sense of tightness in your muscles kind of relax and dissipate. So the bartender just looks like, it's like, sorry. With the rise of this candy, you understand. I'm trying to keep this business as clean as possible. Yes, we have lots of folks here getting plastered out of their mind, but I ain't about to bring no trouble up in here. But, and she kind of looks around and is like, you didn't hear this from me, but from what I can tell, there seems to be a big shipment coming down for candy, especially in the underground rave circuit. Don't ask me why. I don't know too much. I just know that supposedly there's going to be a big shipment coming tonight. Now, I wonder he went off to. And you see her beginning to look around and says, again, I've only heard rumors, but supposedly there is a employee of mine who isn't here for a shift. And then you see her kind of just take the temple of her head and begin to kind of massage it a little bit. I swear that kid is going to fly too close to the sun and burn up with all of this. I told him to stay out of it.
What an interesting thing to say about a person. I'm sure that's not indicative of his whole personality type or anything that might be driving his, own personal story forward. I think that's fascinating, dear. So, I'm just curious. You say underground raves. Is this an above ground rave? And that's kind of the difference there geographically speaking? Because I can go back underground. I mean, underground. Not that I was ever underground. That would not be a place that I would ever be caught dead in. Caught alive. You know what I'm trying to say. So, I'm just going to go, I think, this way now, and I will see you later. And Post is going to have hand on bar and drunkenly stagger walk down the length of the bar, leapfrogging hands as her legs still aren't quite recovered from this Gorgon style stare. And I'd like to head down and around so that way I'm under, I guess, wherever this balcony is with the security presence. And then I will scan over and see if I can just position myself there and watch for Sal and Body in the room.
Okay, so postmortem, as you make your way through and as you're leaving to kind of reposition yourself, the bartender is like, oh, by the way, the name is Jade. Come stop by any time and I'll show you a good time. So Jade,
okay,
the bartender.
That's very sweet of you. I would tell you my name, but I'm having a bit of a mental moment now. But when I remember it, I will come back to you second, because I owe you my name second chronologically for this whole. I need to get my shit together, and I'll just kind of there.
Alrighty, so for those of you who took a wild guess and were correct, Jade is the rift of the Gorgon from legend Medusa. With a very interesting take, instead of turning people to stone, she can just cause muscle spasms. So that's fantastic. I love it. Alrighty. Sal, we come back to you. So you finally finished dancing your way after doing the hustle, doing the typical thing, doing the shouldering, and for some reason you thought doing the Millie Wop was gonna make it through. You finally make your way to the bottom of the stairs of this balcony, where again, you still see this individual in a very white, and polka dotted coat, and you see them surrounded by security. So, how would you like to approach this situation?
Do I see postmortem moving away from the bar, are they? How close is postmortem to me right now?
That is a good question. So normally I would have you roll for this, but I'm just gonna give it to you because I'm feeling nice. So, postmortem, about how far do you position yourself away from where Sal is?
I think from Post's like very self-centered perspective on this, it's partly about getting as far away from the awkwardness with Jade as possible, and then also getting. I think tactically, there's a part of Post's brain that is working in the background that says that's like contextually important, and so if following the bar gets her closer to wherever that balcony is, that is the primary goal, and wherever that means in terms of line of sight for the other two team members, that's great.
Mhm.
But I would say it's more important to get under the balcony or as close to the balcony as possible, all in
Mhm.
this section of the room.
Right. So I'll say that you're able to position yourself kind of at an unused table that gives you a vantage point. Think of it as like triangular vantage points. I'm pulling from experience here. I am a child of a military brat, so this is ingrained into my system. So you are able to position yourself where you can definitely see Bodhi and you can see Sal in a very triangular formation. So if you were to connect the dots, the three of you are standing and forming a triangle, which is a good shape for all the foundation of many things. And you kind of are just standing by in case anything goes down. So back to Sal, we find you at the bottom of the staircase. So what do you want to do?
So if I see Post has posted up, um, I'll kind of give an indicator. Am I underneath the balcony to where this polka dotted jacket person is? Like, are they above me at this point? Can they see me at all?
So the way that the balcony is set up is that definitely if you are in front of it, they can see you, but there's just enough space underneath, kind of like a hanging balcony, where if you're underneath a certain precipice of it, you are close enough into vicinity to hear things, but you are out of line of sight unless she decides to look directly straight down. And even then, because of the crowded dance floor and all the lights and anything, it's going to be a little bit difficult to kind of pinpoint this particular person in this massive mob of dancers.
Okay, I'm going to kind of indicate to Post that I'm going to move up and like keep an eye on me, like watch me, just watch my back basically. Is it Bodhi? Are you focusing in on us, or are you distracted by what's going on? What?
Bodhi at this point has been walking around the entire place, looking around. He's not trying to interact with people. You see, as he like does these like weaves between people, not like dancing or anything, just walking, just looking around. Essentially, instead of looking for people to talk to, he's looking for either doors or entryways that might seem where he might be able to find some more information about what's going on.
Oh, we will
All right,
come
well,
back to you in a sec.
Oh, yeah. Because I think you know what I want to use.
If I can catch
and the thing is, he's short, too. So everyone's, like, towering above him. So as he's going through, you might miss him as he's, like, weaving in between people.
I love it. It's fantastic. So we'll go back to you in a little bit, Bodhi. So Sal, continue.
Yeah. So Sal will try to get his attention like very subtly. So if he doesn't catch it, it'll just be one of those like, whatever. He's doing his own thing. So he'll just casually walk up the stairs. Are there other people on the balcony, or is it just like her party?
It's just her party. It seems like what normally anyone can access this has been kind of all intents and purposes, kind of sequestered off for this specific individual and her security detail.
So then, if there's no one at the bottom of the stairs, then he'll just kind of make his way partially up the stairs, and just as if he would do this on the balcony area, but since he can't get up there, like he's moving up, and he'll kind of lean on the railing and just kind of be watching stuff, and just casually sitting there trying to figure out how to fit into this situation that he's not used to, but at the same time be observing the crowd kind of loosely, so not actually focusing on anyone specifically with his eyes, but instead listening to see if he can catch any conversations or any activity that might be happening up the stairs, but definitely putting himself in a position where he might be able to catch on to something.
Cool. So I rolled a miss because I'm rolling for this individual and see how well or bad they did. So they did bad, which means that this is going to be good for the players. So the fun thing with City of Mist is that you are able, as a game master, or the weaver of lore, I get to roll for my NPCs, and she did bad. So this is bad for me, but good for my players. So Sal, as you're kind of just nonchalantly trying to, for all intents and purposes, just blend in and trying not to be noticed too much, you are kind of just slowly just kind of bouncing along to the music, and then you overhear the very and I'm gonna be pulling it, you hear the typical ringtone of like a very old school like phone. It's like you're gonna find out exactly why in a little bit. So in the world of 2024, most people have smartphones, iPhones, Androids, whatever. You see this woman off the side of your eye reach into her coat pocket, and it's like one of those old school like flip phones. And again, because I am pulling from my own experience, and I will just give this to my players, think of this as like a burner phone, if you will. So she kind of flips it open, sees who's calling, presses the button. This is going to be a trip. So again, this woman is very elegantly dressed. She is wearing a white coat that is splattered in polka dots. You also see that her hair has streaks of black and white in it too. There's also an ensemble of red going along for this too. I love that Andrew immediately picks up wherever these inspirations are coming from. It's fantastic. I told you this is going to be great. So, Sal, you see this, you see her pick up her phone, but nothing can prepare you for what comes out of her mouth. Like, hello? And you are just like, wait a minute, nah. Like, I'm at the club. What do you think I'm doing? Like, this is so, like, fetch. Hey, you knew who you had as a game master, so most of you already know this.
Mikey, stop trying to make fetch a thing, okay? It's just
She
not a
doesn't
thing.
even go here. I love it. So as the conversation, because I'm not going to do it all the time, because even then I'm going to get annoyed. But Sal, you overhear this woman have a conversation, and she's talking to someone named Rico over the phone. So you just hear her tell her that, yes, I will be there. No, I have not picked up the ticket yet. Yes, I will meet you in the alleyway behind this in a little bit. I'm just having a good time. Like, I've worked hard all week. Yes, making TikTok videos is work. What you mean? So you hear the security kind of perk up a little bit, and she kind of puts her, hand over the phone. Oh, 1 sec, Rico. Hey, like, can you guys, like, calm down? It's not that serious. Down, boys, down. And so the security detail goes back to doing their thing. So, Sal, the pertinent information that you gained from this is she's talking to someone named Rico. She is going to be going somewhere This somewhere happens to be a place which is known as the Neon Pulse Festival. And then you also said that she's gonna meet this said Rico in the back alley behind Club Mirage in a little bit when she feels like it, because she's having a good time dancing up here in the balcony. So there you have it. So this woman is inspiration is very Devil Wears Prada meets Cruella DeVille is basically she is the rift of Cruella DeVille because of course security calls them boys. Those are her quote unquote Dalmatians. No, it's not spoiling things. But that is the information you are able to gain, Sal. Sweet. All right, Bodhi, we come back to you. So, Bodhi, you are so tuned in trying to find entryways and exits that a couple people come up to you and they try to do like the raver glove dance, but to no avail to like mesmerize you, and they just shrug their shoulders, but out of love, and they kind of just leave you alone. Yes, exactly. I am
Bringing me back to my college days, you know?
oof. This is my current days. Oh, it hurts so much. I wish. Oh, anyways. So, as you're kind of scanning, I need you to make me an investigation roll, please.
All right. I do have a couple things I want to add to that.
Oh boy, here we go. He's been waiting for this.
Oh yeah. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna use a couple power tags using analyze this level and spot clickable objects and people.
I love that Bodhi is just viewing his world as like an IRL point and click adventure game.
It literally is to him. Like it literally he looks through the fabric of reality. Nothing is real to him anymore. This whole world is a video game. So,
all right, so I will definitely agree with those two. What else you got?
I'm just gonna do those two for now.
All right, so roll 2d6 via alchemy, and then you get to add the +2 to your result to see how well you do.
Fantastic. Let's see.
And we have a total of hot damn. So 10 plus 2 gives you a total of 12.
That's actually 8 plus 2.
Oh.
Because it added the 2 to it.
Oh, all right, nice. But damn, he still got. All right, so out of 10, dang. So you're at the higher end of the middle threshold, which is still pretty good. So the complication won't be as bad. So Bodhi, as you are analyzing your IRL point and click adventure game sitting in front of you, you know what? I'm gonna let you describe this, Chris. So in Bodhi's eyes, since everything seems to be a video game to him, or he views the world in that aspect, what does his quote-unquote computer screen, aka his eyes, look like to him? And kind of give that to the audience of what Bodhi sees through his lens, so to speak.
Oh yes. So the interesting thing, being inside this club, his visual as he's looking through this game looks like kind of actually like a rhythm game. Think of things like more recent, like Crypt of the Necrodancer, or
oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh god, what is that new? It's a first-person shooter game in hell, but it's you're shooting to the beat of metal music. I forgot the name of it. It's so cool. I can't believe I can't remember it. It's so awesome. But in that kind of way, or actually, you know what? You know what it's like? Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, you are my favorite person. I love you so much.
It is kind of the UI of Hi-Fi Rush. He's seeing the beat pulses, everything's moving to the pulsing to the beat, and the things that he can quote unquote click on have like these green
ring pulses with music notes coming out of them, much more obvious than the rest of the pulsing, and he can also just basically see the music pulses as it's going. And I think also at this point he'd also have subtitles on so he can read the lyrics to the music as he's going.
Oh, that is fantastic. I love this so much.
Oh, this character was made for me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So Bodhi, as you're viewing through the world through the lens of Hi-Fi Rush, which is a great game by the way, you are kind of scanning around and kind of bopping your head in rhythm to what you see. And you notice kind of on the other side of the dance floor, you notice a brightly lit, like typical like exit door, or like the exit sign now says it's like next level, if you will.
You see Body's eyes just light up at that.
But so of course. So outside of that, you also see a like hooded individual kind of make their way out through the back as well. And so like very graffiti-esque hoodie is like purple laced in different colors, if you will, so to speak. But yeah, you see somebody wearing a hoodie inside of a dance floor with sweaty bodies all over the way, kind of just make their way out through the back of the club. So that is what you see.
I kind of also imagined seeing his footprints on the ground as he's walking, like in that like kind of like fading away. So Body is like looking towards next level. He's looking towards the person, and he goes, well, the side quest could have more experience. And he's gonna start following the guy that's walking away.
Okay, so this is a really important question.
Yes.
Are you going to follow this individual? So you're following the individual. Do you attempt to give some sort of signals to the rest of your team?
Not consciously? I think his gamer sense would send some kind of message in some way out, like it would be some kind of quest marker or something that sends it to the entire party. He doesn't do it intentionally, it just happens. So it appears to y'all, like it sometimes might appear to y'all as like either a text message or something on your phone. To him, it looks like a quest marker.
Oh, that is amazing. So easy enough. So Bodhi, as you are following this individual, you give your quote-unquote quest markers to Postmortem and to Sal, and both of you received a text message from Bodhi. So for flavor here, like the two of you could be gamers. I'm not going to assume anything because you know what they say about assuming. But sometimes you have to dig through his gamer speech, so it's very like coded in emojis and
it is
acronyms.
Super Leet speak. It is classic Super Leet speak.
No!
Lots of abbreviations, lots of numbers as letters. It is your classic. Yeah.
I think Sal definitely is not a gamer, but on his phone, he probably has a page already open that it's like translate lead speak into like, what does it mean? So he quickly just like copy and pastes that in there to translate real quick so he can kind of like, figure it out. Because he has no idea what's going on, but maybe some previous text messages that he was like, what is that? I don't understand.
Post didn't look at her phone.
Of course, why not?
It's on silent.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, in silent, in like the inside pocket of the jacket, and is there at the table, just kind of like drumming fingers a bit, and trying to like creakily move and loosen up and still not quite getting there. But sees body leave, I think, and then just kind of like watches, like tracking that movement, and then oh shit, and then like starts to walk over and follow where body's going.
Cool. For the sake of point of order, I will say that you guys are probably like 10, 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds behind Bodhi. So, and that's to kind of give in real time. So, Bodhi, as you walk out of the, club of Club Mirage, you kind of exit and you are looking around. So now it has switched to first person shooter mode, where it's like Halo, where it's like you first person viewpoint. It's like, why did the screen go orange? This is like, why do I hear a female navigator voice? Like, try not to get copyrighted. But your viewpoint goes from that rhythm game inside to a FPS first person viewpoint. And like in your head, Bodhi, you hear like also mixing Resident Evil first person games is like you start to hear like the breathing as you're walking through. So Bodhi, as you exit the building, it's definitely a lot quieter because you are in like the alleyway behind the club. But you also notice that it's not very well lit because there is lack of light sources outside of like the shadows of the lights inside of the club pulsating through the windows. But you notice that down the way a little bit, despite it being kind of not necessarily pitch black, but almost there, you're looking around and you see darkness, large like light source, darkness. Hold up. Like light.
almost out of nowhere, he just goes, "Oh, there we go."
You just hear the Metal Gear Solid like ding.
Yes.
See, I am a jack of all trades, master of none. I know my players. I'm just kidding. So you notice this very abnormal light source in a very dimly lit alley. And at this point, Bodhi, you're a little bit away from the door as you kind of like, interesting. And then Sal and Postmortem, you both come out of the door and you see, again, mostly darkness, really bright spot in the middle, which is weird because there are no street lights up in this piece.
And Bodhi is heading for the bright spot.
He's going towards the light.
You just see like no emotion, just Bodhi just walking towards this light, just in front of you.
Don't go to the light, not yet.
How far away is Bodhi from us?
I'll say probably like a good 2 feet, maybe. Like he's not super far away, but it's probably like maybe 2 arms lengths away, if you will. So you're gonna need, if you're gonna like stop him, you're gonna need to take a few steps and then like maybe yoink him back into reality a little bit, which is sad.
Sal is gonna see this and take a quick steps and try to grab Bodhi by like the back of his shirt, by like the back of his collar, to like pull him back away from that.
Sweet.
You see Bodhi, like, for this nerdy looking, out of shape, short little guy, he strikes a like very, as soon as you touch him on his back, he strikes this very exaggerated Shaolin monk pose, ready to strike from not knowing who's behind him. And he goes,
"Oh, you shouldn't do that to me. I could kill you."
Sure. That's probably not a good idea.
Bodhi, sweetheart, that's not how that works. I'm really sorry to be the one to tell you this, but you'd be okay, okay? Now, what's all this about, then?
Oh, so I saw some really, really sketchy dude making his way out here. Um, so I thought that we could follow him and see what he might be up to. Might give us a clue to where the candy might be.
Yes, that's great. And trying to find the candy, that's why we're here. What could you tell me more about this? Where did he go? What did he look like? What was he wearing? What was his gait like? Approximate steps per moment or per second.
He goes, because you asked that, he goes into extreme detail with every stat he could think of, even down to like the frames per second that were going on in his head with what he was watching.
Oh
Okay.
God, we have a magic player. we have a WoW player in the. Oh no!
He's a basement dweller. What do you expect? No, actually, I would say for my mind, it would be more of a Final Fantasy XIV player.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh
That tracks.
gosh, that tracks though.
But he does describe that it was a taller person. Well, everyone's tall to him. But his jacket is covered in graffiti, wearing a trench coat, really out of place from the dancing people. Was wearing just it was almost very obviously out of place for a place like this.
I see. And he came out this way?
Yes.
I see. Can I I think it's not dropping the act, but it's kind of an extension of this aloofness act, and just give a shrewd eye and pass through this entire space to see if there's any kind of clue or indication where this person would end up or go or could be hiding or moving through at all.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Yeah, I think that will work. So I'm gonna have you roll investigate with this.
Cool. I have some tags.
Go for it.
I'm gonna. So I just checked a little boxy thing. So I have tracking. Because tracking, and I have the information. I have like the profile of this person I'm going after. I could try and make a case for alert, but I don't think I will.
I'd love to see it.
Because that seems like a bit of a thing. No, being already dead doesn't help me for this one. And then, could I make the case for stealth? That if I have a tag and skill in stealth, that I should theoretically, maybe, be able to, like, recognize game kind of aspect of, like, where would a person be hiding? Where are the good hiding spots here? Where are the good secret pathways? How do you cut across outside of the line of sight, outside of the light bubble, if you will? Could I make a case for that?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Oh, cool. You're so nice, Mikey. Thank you.
I
No, I can't click it. Oh, no, I can. Okay, I just clicked it a million times, but that's fine. Okay, so I do that, and then I do the checky mark thing down here at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I do that. And it's thinking about its life and its choices. And then I have to click the move, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you said investigate?
Yep.
Cool. It shall be done. Oh, that's where I clicked it. What do I... Oh.
We're learning so much
perfect.
today, you guys.
What? How does that work? Okay, hold up. Everybody calm down. Let's go back.
It's like a multi. The drop down when you pull up investigate, it's like a multi-select. You select all of your different things you're doing to it.
And by me clicking on these previous ones, it has now taken those away from me in the drop-down menu. So I, as Mikey just said, have learned the order of operations, and I will forget again. And then we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna invoke. And we get a 10? 10. Yeah, 10. Yeah.
We count, I promise. Cool. So definitely on the higher end of things. So we used all this tag. So post-mortem, you kind of just go straight into stealth mode, if you will. certain words cannot be said on, the internet, so we're trying not to get in trouble here. But you go into stealth mode, as we'll call it, and you are able to kind of just go straight into it. Even though this street is in somewhat mostly darkness, because the only light source is coming from the club itself. You know what? I hope this is okay, but because you are a revenant, your eyes kind of go into like the spectral kind of like aquamarine, as if you were like wearing like heat-seeking goggles, like, or night goggles, if you will. But on top of that too, you know this very well because this is part of you, but your chest also kind of glows the same color faintly a little bit as you are using this. So as you are kind of using your heat-seeking eyes, if you will, you notice that off to the side into like another alleyway, you see the red outline of an individual who looks very petite and kind of just chilling there, not really doing anything. And you kind of see them just trying to hold as still as possible, as if they are trying to hold their breath. Unsuccessful, might I add, if they doing it.
Excellent. It's like big old puffs of just body temperature breathing coming out. Yeah, so it like if you imagine like a dead Kim Cattrall a la Sex in the City, standing there like purse on elbow and looking and then sees this and it's a full like down up okay and just a point with these glowing spectral eyes kind of thing and just a point with a meaningful head nod towards Salamander going like it's over there. And
I love the reference, by the way. Like, I never thought in a TTRPG we would get a Sex in the City reference. I love it.
I didn't either. I've actually only seen one episode of Sex in the City, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't enjoy it.
Very fair. Very fair.
Yeah, it was Big's fault. Everybody else was great. I did not like whatever Big, if that's his real name or not. I don't really care. That was the only... Yeah, I couldn't hang. Didn't want to come back, so I didn't.
But hey, you could have fooled
anyway,
me.
Yeah. I just really like Kim Cattrall. I think she's great.
Love it. So, Sal, you see post-mortem. I don't want to say post because then I'm like Malone.
But no, that's perfect. I love it.
You see post-mortem kind of just point into the direction of where said individual is.
Does it seem like there are any other angles of escape or anything like that away from us if we approach them?
That is a good question. And you know what? I'm a reward said good question. I will say, and apologies, Connor, I'm going to kind of hijack postmortem a little bit, but I will say that postmortem kind of gives Sal the details of like the area of what they can see through their eyes. So from what postmortem tells you, while this is in an alleyway, this is very like the back streets of like Hey Arnold, if you will, where it's surrounded by nothing but brick walls, and there is no real escape except if you feel daring to go up the fire escape. But even then, that's going to be a bit of a tough job. And based on the description that postmortem gives you, Sal, it doesn't seem that this individual is built they're like very strong. They're very tiny, very scrawny, if you will, because heat signature is not necessarily giving off anything be like, oh, this is a big boy. No, this looks like to be a scrawny little twig.
And are they hiding behind something, or are they just hiding in the darkness?
They're hiding like behind the corner of like a brick building. But you get the feeling, based on what postmortem tells you, that this person is not really looking to run or escape. They're just trying to basically like camouflage themselves in very bad fashion by holding their breath. But they're not really doing a successful job at it because postmortem can see all.
I guess Sal will indicate to postmortem to basically go one because the light source is in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, for us to kind of flank them on either side, just kind of
Yeah,
do the.
she'll roll the spectral eyes and go, if I must, and then stagger off at a decent, gait because she's so tall, and head off in the direction that you indicate.
All right.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
before they walk away, Sal can he check the door? Is it locked from the outside?
I say it is a little bit.
The door going back in is locked.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Sal's gonna open the door like enough so that you can hear some music, and then like let it close, and then give roughly enough time for like a couple people to have gone back in, and then try to be extra quiet, and also give Bodhi a look like, and then try to continue sneaking over with the two of that with Post, kind of flanking this person.
I love it.
Bodhi sees in his HUD glasses the volume meter go down. He attempts to be quiet.
I love it. Also, I will also say that Bodhi, your perspective has now turned into an on-rails shooter, where you see like the two NPC characters walking towards there, and you just see your little cursor on the screen.
Time crisis mode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Like very Time Crisis, House of the Dead vibes. Like we love these here. So, postmortem and Sal, as you make your way through, I'm not even going to make you roll for this because this is going to be fun. But you two are able to kind of position yourself in a way where you can both jump this individual. And jump you do. So you just grab them and it's like, come here. And you just hear this little scrawny kid's like, get off me. I promise. I have nothing. Here. I was like, I have like $2 and some change. That's all I have. Stop. No. Ah! Like very like aggro, like
Stop struggling. We don't want or need your money. Please don't. Just stop.
So
Thank you.
Immediately they're just like, okay, and kind of just like stand still. They just don't tire to rest. It's like, okay, if you don't want my money, then why'd you jump me? Why?
That's actually a really good question. Why did we need this one?
You said they have a long jacket on, right?
Yeah.
After kind of pulling them out, Sal's gonna like open their jacket up to kind of do a loose frisk to see like what they're hiding in there. Also checking for potential like dangers, but hoping to maybe find some signs of some candy or something. Give us some information on this person.
So easily enough, you do find like a small little baglet of candy. So if you look on it, it definitely spells CNDY for candy. And it's like coated in your stereotypical like breath mint red and white color in the packaging and all of that. And it's a small little plastic bag. And Sal, as you open it up, I kid you not, and everyone's going to get a laugh out of this. As you look inside to the bag of candy, if you will, it literally, like, the consistency of it looks... It's basically Pop Rocks. Like, it's basically Pop Rocks. It's very... But this one looks very multicolored. Very, without saying the word and getting in trouble, like in the words of Miley Cyrus, is like la di da di. We came to party with Molly and the rest.
So Sal will take it out, the 2-finger grab, hold it up, and ask this person, "Do you have any more?"
It's like, do you have any more candy? I love this naming convention. Literally, you see this individual be like, that's not mine. I don't know where I got it. I was just holding it for a friend. And you could tell that he is badly lying. And then you hear him whisper under his breath, "Oh, shit." I didn't mean to get this deep, man. Like, I'm just trying to survive out here. I didn't know it was gonna be too big for me, man.
Sal's gonna like give them a little shake. Like, shut up. I just want to know if you have more or where we can get more.
And, it's just like, fine. I was expecting somebody else, but I might as well give it to you because I want to go home. And it's like, I don't have any more on me, man, but I know where to get some. And I promise not to run away, but if you can kind of lighten up, I have something in my jacket pocket. I promise it's not a weapon.
Oh, that's okay. I'll get it, darling, and I'll snag in and try and grab it.
Postmortem, as you pull this out, it is a flyer that is advertising the Neon Pulse Festival, which is a giant rave music festival, and it's happening in one of the warehouses in like the industrial district. So we're going to a warehouse rave, you guys. So this is gonna be fun.
I'll read this out and then go. Is this underground? Is this an underground warehouse? Is that how this works? You there? You child, tell me.
Thank
you. I was right. I was right all along. No, you're fine.
No, technically it's underground, but like not in the way that you're thinking. It's more like an above ground warehouse, but it's underground because it's not really official with the cops and everything. And just he begins to kind of.
And then you're doing this. I need you to stop.
Okay. And just he stops.
Thank you. Stop when you're ahead. You wait until you're spoken to. Okay.
Okay.
That was rhetorical. Yes. Don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do you have a phone?
It's in my other pocket, and kind of just not really looking at you postmortem. It's like, I will let you, ma'am, reach for it. I promise I won't move.
Oh, I'm not. Okay, fine. I'll go in and pull out the phone. Like, ugh.
I'll take. Is it a flip phone? Is it a burner? Is it an iPhone? Is it a smartphone or is it a?
So, you get the feeling that this individual is not necessarily the smartest crayon, like the sharpest tool, the brightest crayon in the box, if you will. So instead of having a burner phone, it looks like his personal phone, but it's an iPhone, but he doesn't have facial recognition on it. You just like, not even a password. You just like scroll up and it just opens. The kid's not too bright. He is dumb as a sack of hammers at this point. But as you kind of open up the phone, Sal, you do see like the little phone icon has like 5 missed calls, like with the little red bubble and the number 5 in it. And as you click on it, you see that this individual has had 5 missed calls from somebody called DJ Pulse.
Sorry, making a note. So
I was trying to find the unmute
button. He'll hold it up to the kid. Would this be someone who would know where to get more?
Yeah, that's the person who's going to be dropping a big shipment at this underground rave. DJ Pulse is kind of spearheading it. I'll be honest, I don't really like the guy. He's too big for his britches. But somehow he's able to hypnotize people with his sets. I don't know if that's like the power of music or whatever, but like he seems to make them fall in line and kind of like able to kind of puppeteer them a little bit, if you will, through his music. Kind of an asshole too, very full of himself.
Sal will take the phone and hand it to Bodhi. I'm assuming you're with us, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
He'll hand it to Bodhi and say, can you turn off any, like, track my phone, any kind of stuff like that so people can't know where this is?
Before you even stop speaking, it's done. You just see him just like to turn off anything that is changeable. He also changed the background of it.
We love to see it.
To one of his anime waifus.
I love this group so much. Anyways, so Bodhi, after you all do that too, I will say for the sake of it, you are able to find the location of said warehouse where this festival is happening. And the individual on the ground is like, I'm really sorry. Again, I don't know what I was getting into. I realized that I made a poor decision and I'm not gonna do it again. I need to stop trying to fly too close to the sun. And you see that this man is sweating so profusely that now the sweat has kind of drenched through his hoodie, and now the hoodie has become very moist with sweat from nervousness. Just him
He's all
talking too
squishy
much.
now.
He's all sweaty. He's all squishy now.
So I'll pick him up, kind of.
You're just like, ew, my hands are all wet now.
Yeah. And just tell him to, get out of here. Do something better with your life.
Okay, I will. Thank you for not killing me. And then he turns around and all three of you see like this very like bright light kind of pulsating from his back that kind of look like angel wings in a little bit, and you see him kind of fly off into the distance a little bit. So this little individual was the Rift of Icarus, the kid who flew too close to the sun. So now y'all have the location of this rave. So put on your raver pants, kids, because it is time to enter the Neon Pulse Festival. So the three of you make your way to the warehouse. And, more specifically, like the business district, if you will. And what you end up seeing is obviously in the business district, you are kind of walking through. There's a little part of the city that is there for sure. And you kind of enter the downtown area, which is busy because it is the nighttime, if you will, so to speak. And then once you get past all the glitz and glamour of downtown, you just find like the warehouse district, the business district. But you can immediately tell that something is not right because of the fact that you have multiple warehouses, and then one of them you just see a bunch of flashing colored lights like coming from one of it. So you three approach the warehouse because you have the flyer. You are able to get access inside of this festival because, again, underground raves, you have the flyer. I'm pulling from very old school UK rave culture, if you will. It's like you find these parties, but the flyer, you get inside. And think of this as Club Mirage, but like on a grander scale. I don't know of how many of my players have ever been to a warehouse rave, but you know those things get crazy. It is literally a warehouse with the stage at the front and a bunch of partygoers dancing on the floor. It is a giant music festival happening out in the wee hours of the morning. Now, as you enter in and you kind of get accustomed that you have left the nightclub and entered a full-on like festival vibe, each of you begin to kind of take in the scenery. Obviously, visually, you see a bunch of people in different raver type of gear. Like you have some, again, people regular t-shirt and shorts. They have glow sticks. Some people have like the gloves. Some people are like mesmerizing others with like the glow in the dark, like hula hoop dancing and whatnot. You also see some very old school ravers, like in the big parachute pants and like your very like Fruit of the Loom black tank top, if you will. Is super fantastic. But the thing that sticks out the most is as you're walking through, kind of surveying the scene, you feel in your body to begin to kind of bounce your head to the music, but you kind of feel like, again, so I have synesthesia, so I can see sound. So think of it as like in front of you, you see like these magical notes flying around and kind of bouncing along with the music. And you're kind of being, not really, but you feel like you're being hypnotized by the thing as if this tune is kind of trying to make you follow along and kind of bounce along and kind of just, fall in line, if you will. And at the very front of the stage, you see in a gaudy neon green tracksuit bucket hat, you see DJ Pulse behind the ones and twos blasting his music. He is dressed in green. He has a giant golden chain, and his logo says DJ Pulse, so like the Soundwave Pulse, but also for some reason it's like a giant like flute is also incorporated into the logo as well. And so you just on the mic, you just hear, "All right, party people, let's get this party started," and just like continues to play it. You notice the fervor, though, begin to increase as he cranks the knob and he continues to play. In a very eerie way, you see the crowd like kind of in syncly, like they're all doing different dance moves, but they are in sync and they bounce them around at the same like beats and times a little bit, as if they were being, as if some sort of piper was, playing a tune to get them to fall in line. Yes, I'm being heavy handed here.
As a city worker who's probably, very in line with like OSHA and other safety rules, I feel like there might be a chance that Sal might have, those little disposable packs of earplugs, the little orange ones that you would keep, especially if you were
Oh,
working in areas
absolutely. Absolutely.
right? So I'd like to pull some of those out. I don't know if I might have enough for everyone because I feel like I definitely at least have a backup. So I'll pull some of those out, put some in, and then if I have enough for everybody, share them with the team.
You know what? I will say that you have enough for the team. So you pull out the plugs, you give them to Bodhi and Postmortem, and as the three of you kind of put them in, the sensation of kind of being entranced with the music has kind of subsided a little bit. And you make the realization that you probably don't want to take these out anytime soon. So as this is happening, yeah, so everyone's just like talking, is like it's all quiet and muffled. It's like, huh? What did you say? Listen, as somebody who has been to enough music festivals, trying to talk in the middle of a stage is the roughest part. Even when you're at the very back of the stage, that bass is booming. No metro. Anyways,
Body still has subtitles on.
So I'm just gonna say it. I'm pulling from a very like specific type of indie game. Bodhi, now your screen and your vision has now transformed into basically like very colorful cast of characters. You see DJ Pulse turn into some sort of like astronaut, and literally now you are in the world of No Straight Roads in this music festival scene. I still listen to that soundtrack to this day. It is one of my favorite like musical game type of things. I love it so much. I need a sequel. That's beside the point. So again, the three of you are kind of bouncing around, and then you see above you, very a la Squid Games, a giant like clear crystal ball at the very top, loaded with what looks to be a plethora of pop rock like substance of candy. And so you hear DJ Pulse on the ones and twos get on the microphone. It's like, all right, party people, it's about to get crazy in here. It's time for the grand finale. Are you ready for the candy? And the crowd just gets hyped and everything. And so I'm going to say this. Yeah, I was going to say, in game wise, while it's like in real time, it's like a couple seconds before he hits like the button on the deck. By the way, DJ Pulse is not a real DJ. He has a pre-planned set and he's playing it off of a USB stick. He's not really cutting and scratching live. How dare he? But while it seems like so in real time, it's a couple of seconds before he hits the button that will drop the candy here. I will say we're going into like Max Payne, like slow time here, where you have some time to make some decisions and be quick about it. So Postmortem, I think I know what you're going to do, but why don't you tell me what you are looking to accomplish here?
I would like to pull out my Ion 9 Blast sniper rifle and shoot the controller deck. to you know, take that off the table. I was gonna say like maybe to DJ. Nah, I'm not gonna step on Mikey that much. That sounds like a bad way to be a role player. But shoot the thing that he's reaching for, 100%.
Oh,
So yeah, I
absolutely.
would like to be able to do that if you're okay with that.
Oh, absolutely. Alrighty, so this to me qualifies as a hit with all you've got.
Cool.
So I'm going to have you look at your tags to see what you can apply here to take a shot at DJ Pulse to stop him from releasing the candy.
Well, I have a tag that is the Ion 9 Blast sniper rifle, which gave me the idea. That and the character art having a big old sniper rifle.
Mhm.
And I think it's funny, like in retrospect, that everything else that's happened, she's just got this massive, like quiet level sniper rifle just strapped to her
So
back, and
the way I see it is just like nobody questions it. It's like
yeah,
Tamari from Naruto with her giant fan, like just
yeah,
carrying the
exactly.
crowd
Like
everywhere.
it's just there. So I'm definitely going to use that. I think from looking at the character sheet for postmortem, it's very like the downside to using this equipment is that it's powered by a very finite resource, and so I think
Mhm.
it's a really great mechanical way to make sure that you don't spam just like I shoot everything and come out blasted. So I like that. The other tag that I have is marksmanship, which I feel like does fit here. I'm trying to go for a very, very tight target in that I'm not just like blind fire at the DJ. I want very much dramatically to, as finger goes to button, to just not make that button exist anymore. And
Okay.
if you'll let me on this one, Mikey, as someone who has played enough video games to know that you always click in the left stick to hold your breath, um, I have a tag that says "does not breathe." So I feel like that, in addition to like I'm already dead, which is another tag, I don't have a heartbeat to fire, try and release the shot in between the heartbeats, kind of thing. So if I could just add the "do not breathe," I feel like
Yeah, I
that's
will
an
let
option.
you. You have convinced me enough. Plus, I think that's a lot of fun for sure.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, I just think it's I. We'll see how the roll goes, and then I'll tell you what I think it looks like.
Cool. Alrighty.
12.
Roll away and let's see what happens.
I did. It's a 12.
All right. Well, postmortem. I'm gonna let you describe it. How do you do this to pull the short?
I'll just kind of, I think narratively I'll go up and you tell me how the effect happens. I'm just gonna give you the whole setup. We walk in, we see this. It's kind of like looking up, seeing the giant thing, listening to DJ Pulse, looking at each other, looking at the giant thing, and then Post goes, well, and just unships, and like as it comes down, doesn't even fully aim. It goes like right on crook of elbow, just pure muscle memory, and just single, like just a little pull, and just the shot goes right out and like slow mo. I don't know if it's like in between the crowd or however, but I think right as that shot leaves that barrel, that's where I'm gonna pass it off to you now, my dude.
Oh, absolutely. So, oh, this is gonna be really fun. So, as you kind of pull the trigger, you know, as bad as the movie was plot wise, like you, Angelina Jolie, curve the bullet,
Huh?
if you will.
Yeah. Right when you said as bad as the movie was plot wise, I was like, this is gonna be a Wanted reference for sure,
Yes.
because the comic was great and the movie was something.
No.
Yeah.
And you don't have a care because I was gonna say I was just like in a shoot 'em up. No, I was kidding.
If you want to
I
bring out a Clive Owen classic of shoot 'em up, I am here for it because that movie slaps. I
really
I will
did.
argue about that movie all day
It's
long. That
guilty
movie's
pleasure
great.
of mine. I love it.
So
But as you pull the trigger and like curving the bullet, you pull the trigger, and the bullet begins to kind of make its way through the crowd in a way where its cylindrical motion, if you will, kind of goes over. And as DJ Pulse is about to hit the button, if you will, your bullet collides with said button, it sparks, it explodes. The sound system gets cut. It's like, And then you immediately see what was the dazed party goers, like kind of come to their senses, and they're like, "Huh? What? Like, what happened?" I and like trying to get their bearings. And even though the mic is not working, the three of you, even with your earmuffs, you hear from the front stage because it's like kind of murmured and quiet enough. You just hear, "Ah, fuck!" I was like, "Hey, who killed the vibe up in here?" "Oh, now you're gonna get it." And it kind of scans the room. And
Post waves. That was me. I made that shot. You're welcome. Anytime, dear. And puts the sniper rifle back. You're welcome. I saved the day. Me. Yes.
all right, well, post. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic for sure.
Friends, did you see that? Did you see what I did? I'm kind of amazing. I can't remember what voice Post had, so it's she's cycling through the different body parts she's been compiled of. That's what I'm saying. It's a real oh man, Marvel Imperfects video game. Give it a second, it'll come to me. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, I love that game so much. We'll talk afterwards. We'll talk afterwards. So, as you kind of revel in the glory, if you will, you say DJ Pulse be like, "All right, you little torta." I was like, "I'm done playing the games with you. Now you're gonna pay for it." And you see DJ Pulse from his like hanging around his chain. You see him kind of break it off, and his chain is kind of like has this little capsule in front of it, and he kind of just takes the chain off, like crushes the capsule in his hand, and you see it extend to a full-on flute. And he kind of puts this like, "All right, time for the after-hour party." He begins to play his flute, and you can start to see the crowd who were gaining their senses. You see a few of them, not as strong as the sound system, but you see a couple of them kind of fall back under a spell, like jerk like in a motion, looking at you, and begin to like mad dash towards the three of you.
Um, using my knowledge of waterworks and water systems and things like that, am I able to locate like a fire alarm style like they would have in a warehouse where you pull it and it sets off the sprinkler system?
I mean, let me think about that one. I'm going to. Okay, so I'll compromise with you here. I will say yes, there is definitely a way to kind of do so. However, the problem you're going to run into is because there is one far off in the corner. You could probably make your way there, but you also have to contend with the mad Pied Piper-esque ravers coming after you. However, and just putting it out there, Salamander, you have some interesting abilities too. So you can activate it the normal way, or you can cave into the Salamander and just let it unleash. But I'm cool either way.
So Sal will see this, see how far away it is, kind of do a look at that, look at the people coming, look at that, and say, "All right, I guess we're doing this the hard way." And he'll light up his flaming aura and use his what are they? Burning Nimbus whips to set off the sprinkler system that way.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. That was awesome. That's awesome. Like, so Sal, I mean, you kind of described these whips, but I'm gonna have you narrate this. So, what do you do with said whips to get the desired effect?
All right. Well, I like the art that it kind of covers him in a sheath of flaming plasma. So it's kind of like liquid fire, or since we're making movie references, if you've seen Event Horizon, they talk about fire and zero gravity, and it works like liquid. That's how I kind of picture it. But the whips in the imagery, they have faces on them, and since it's a salamander, I picture them to be kind of serpentine. So they would whip out and kind of fly up towards the sprinkler system, slithering through the air like little flaming snakes, flaming lizards, as they whip up and wrap around the sprinkler systems to set off their heat sensors. So those little capsules crack in there and set off the sprinklers.
So, and I'm going to be a little mythological with it because I love it too. So, Sal, as you kind of do this, you are able to activate the sprinkler system in this giant warehouse. So, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I'm gonna take control a little bit, and I am going to insert a little nerdism when it comes to some mythological stuff and spirituality, if you will. So anybody who is a practitioner in any elementalism or reads a lot of things like I did, water is associated with the purest form of any of the four elements on this planet. Water is used to cleanse and clean. And in some religions, water is a symbol for rebirth, but it is also to wash away the evilness that comes with life. So, Sal, as you kind of use the salamander whips to, hit these sprinklers, and it begins to rain on me, a la Lady Gaga-esque, if you will. The water, yeah. The water begins to fall and cascade onto the party goers and to DJ Pulse in his little, electronic flute, might I add. So now the flute is short circuiting, but you also start to see the party goers, like, who are under the spell, kind of come to their senses, but also the ferocity that this whole entire scene seemed to be cleansed and washed away with the fire. It could just be it's really good water here in Neon Heights, the city, or maybe the salamander may have did some extra things to it when you hit the sprinkler system. Who's to say? But all three of you see this scene kind of unfolds, that as the sprinkler systems continue to run, the party goers are kind of like coming to their senses. You see DJ Pulse's electronic flute, like Fritz, he throws it to the ground as he's trying not to get electrocuted with the mix of the wire and the water, and kind of just falls to his knees, just like, my bloody career is over. I thought I had it. I had it all. Oh, damn it. And then kind of just still on top of the stage looks at you three, and it's just like, and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. So
Ha!
So, for the sake of time, the three of you apprehend DJ Pulse. He reveals to you that he was supposed to make the candy drop, and this was a special batch made for tonight that not only would it, aggravate the senses and kind of hype the party goers off, but with his power in the rift of the Pied Piper, he managed to find a way to lace this version of candy to be able to kind of puppeteer and to control people like sleeper agents. So it would go away after the initial effects were done, but if he played certain chords or certain tunes and certain keys for his music during his sets, like sleeper cell agents, they would reawaken and fall right back under his control. Who knows exactly what kind of evil plan that DJ Pulse was going to have with all of this, but regardless, the three of you were able to save the city from going into a, who knows, massive uprising, like whatever it was. However, DJ Pulse also mentions to you that he's just the lower rung individual on this, and that there's a whole subset of individuals here in Neon Heights that are going to need to be dealt with before. But that is going to be another story for another one shot down the line, or who knows, we might revisit this in some form. But that is going to bring us to the end of our City of Mist one shot. So, before we sign off for the evening, gentlemen, congratulations. This was just a little taste of what the City of Mist system offers. And you know what? This is exactly how we're going to play in our actual project. So before I kind of reveal all that and what we will be playing, I'm just going to go down the line and you kind of tell me, some things that you liked, or things you find fascinating, things you're interested in. And you know what? I am open to criticism as well. Because again, I'm a little rusty on my DM skills. It has been in quite a hot minute before, since I've DM'd. But, Chris, I'm going to come to you first. So this was your first taste with the City of Mist system. So tell me what you like, what was interesting, what are you fascinated with, and, just overall, good and bad.
Overall, I really enjoyed it. I really tend to enjoy these kind of more story driven heavy games where you're able to almost like a movie or almost like a television or a video game that you're watching. Like I'm even scrolling through some of the other moves and they're even talking about different things like voiceover monologues, flashbacks, montages, and things to really bring that kind of cinematic side out. And that's what I really like whenever I play these type of games. I like getting that visual in my mind. So this just helps that. And that's one of the things I really love about this system. Mechanic wise, lots of fun. I like the idea of having the different things you can do, and you can really do anything. So yeah, overall I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
I appreciated it. It was a lot of fun running it. So, Connor, same question to you. Now that you had a taste of the City of Mist system, what do you think?
I really like it. I very much enjoy the setting. I am a noir fan, and like anything Blade Runner adjacent as like just a starting point for getting me in like the techno noir stylings of things. I really like. One of the things that I do mechanically really enjoy about these types of games is the same thing with like Monster of the Week for me, which is one of the games that I've run the most out of like everything. And I've recently gotten back more into the fifth edition side, but there's always a soft spot for me for like the 2d6 and anything a 10 plus is pure victory, and then you've got your mixed result. I enjoy how flexible the narrative can be, especially how it promotes the collaborative storytelling elements between the person running the game and then the players playing the game. I think it's a unique thing that doesn't happen in most other forms of like gameplay. Like you can play a board game, you can play even fifth edition, where you just don't get that same amount of like collaborative creative control. And that's some of my favorite like gameplay memories have been within those kinds of systems. I love the theming. I really enjoy the way that you have like the different advantages built into the story arc of the character. It like gives more individualistic meaning behind the skills, the stats, the background, all of that as one complete like character that you just kind of get to drop. I'd be very interested in making a custom character in this system and seeing how well that kind of patches in. But I'm very excited for this and for the future project. I think as a foundational system, this has a lot of potential for success and a lot of potential for flexible creativity with it. And I love that.
Absolutely. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, Andrew, your first taste of City of Mist. What do you think?
Yeah, like Connor, I really enjoyed this style, this kind of powered by the apocalypse system. It having been someone who came from a lot of D&D as my main source of TTRPG, but also playing a few other ones that were more D20 based. I really liked this style of system. I've listened to a lot of actual play podcasts that have used similar systems, and so I've really wanted to play in this system, and it was a lot of fun. It felt more engaging and organic as we started to play, especially playing pre-made characters. It felt really easy to step into those characters and kind of figure them out and find new ways to do stuff. So I think that really helped with this. So it has me really excited for the things that we're going to do in the future. And I'm a comic book nerd. I've been reading them. I mean, I'm like second generation. You know, my dad was huge into comic books, and so he got me into them even before I could read. So anything with a superhero type theme to them is awesome. But I'm also someone who grew up reading a lot of like mythology, fantasy, and folklore. So seeing all the little like additions into this world, it's a really cool blend, and I'd definitely be interested in doing more of this this setting with this system, continuing on these characters, playing new ones, and like I like Connor's idea of also creating unique characters for ourselves too, because I think there's a lot of opportunity with this system.
I love it. And so I guess I'll go before we finish off here, but this is not my first time running City of Mist. I actually did a small miniseries run 2 years ago. You could probably still find that actual play podcast, but it was a lot of fun. City of Mist was my first real introduction to something outside of D&D, which then, as Connor and Chris knows from the various pictures and the text threads that I shared, and even a little bit of Andrew from our talks too, I have whole buckets full of TTRPGs that I love and I'm researching. I've become a researcher of TTRPGs, but because I love TTRPGs and just different facets of different genres, I can now that we are done with our one shot, I am super excited to announce what we're actually going to be doing. So as we mentioned at the very beginning of this one shot, that we will be using the City of Mist system for this new Halfling Wizard production. And I am proud to announce that we are going to be playing one of my personal new favorites, picking up the project that is going to be announced here is we are going to be using the sister game of City of Mist. And the new Halfling Wizard production is going to be a small campaign using the Queers TTRPG, which I'm super excited about. So you might be wondering to yourself, Mikey, that's not a nice word. Why are you going to name it? Listen, I'm not the one that came up with it, but I am super excited to use it. So Queers, the TTRPG, is based off of the manga, which is a Japanese comic book for those of you who aren't aware of manga, of the same name. And it was a collaboration from Son of Oak Games and the manga artist known as Issa. And they collaborated to make this game. So Queers is going to be following these lovely three players, as well as our fourth in JT, starting in October, as we go through the story and fight off the ignorance of the world in very, LGBTQIA plus, like Super Sentai Power Rangers S. It is going to be full of camp. It's going to be full of drama. It's going to be full of heartfelt moments. And I'm super proud to be able to bring this not only to the world, but I want to give thanks and appreciation to the head of Halfling Wizard Productions, Will, for trusting me enough to bring this kind of story to the masses and to the internet. I'm super excited to kind of bring this type of story. Heartfelt and good feeling stories is what I thrive on, and I'm super excited to basically coming of age story, just dressed up in all the colors of the rainbow as these players go through and fight off the ignorance and use their power to come to an understanding with folks who don't necessarily view the world through those same lenses. So this has been Mikey, and for myself, the players, and the rest of the Halfling Wizard Productions, thank you so much for tuning into this one shot, and stay tuned for October and the social medias, because our premiere for Queers is happening very, very soon. So for myself and the rest of the team, have a good night, and until then, sayonara. We are Audi 500. I'm so excited, you guys.
Thanks for joining us for this Halfling Wizard production. Make sure to come back again soon to see what happens next, right here where adventure comes to life.